Ooh, hello everybody, and welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Grimrock. We've come to this weird section here, where I'm marked on the map for some reason. We could make progress, but if we go back into the game's tricking us, and it's taking us into this little area with a sack, which we've already pillaged. Well, is that it in this area? Well, no, not necessarily. What happens if we go down these trapdoors? Last time it took us into that weird puzzle room with the secret with the super high-end gear. What happens now? We find this guy, and I hate the way that somehow the game always places him directly in front of you. What the hell is that? So anyway, we find this guy, another one of these. Look at that, that did 300 damage to him. 300 damage. Am I 75 damage? Oh my god, I think that's the most I've ever seen that I've done. So yeah, anyway, wow, that spell has become really powerful if I hit him with 400 damage! I didn't even realise these guys have that much health. Oh my god. 400. They must be weak to poison. That's crazy. Or is it because it's doing 2 hits and it's just... I think it might be because it's doing 2 hits and it's kind of coming together. Maybe that was 56 damage plus 8 damage from the poison cloud. Yeah, there's no way I'm doing that. There's no way I'm doing 414 damage here. Anyway, we find another one of these guys. Play the back and forth game if you like. Eventually he'll go down. Sooner rather than later. He died much easier this time than on my last playthrough. And we will find we're in a kind of another secret-y type area. Once this clears, I'll go over. These hammers, by the way, even if you're spec'd into hammers, they're not very good. They're very weighty. They have minus 20 accuracy. I mean, Jesus Christ, maces. So it's definitely not worthwhile for my guy. Anyway, we find another new shield here. So Arachnia gets herself a new shield. And her old round shield can go into Liss's inventory to replace with this crappy old skeleton shield we used to get. Somebody mentioned something about these shields as well. If you have a look at them, you know I mentioned those statues we found that seem to be like on a cog, and we see cogs in the background of our dreams. Here we see 2 cogs or several cogs on a design in front of a mountain. So it's all still kind of hinting at this kind of cogs and machinery and stuff, which is interesting. It's always kind of been going in. Like, you can be quite shocked at the way the game changes later, but there are hints as it goes forward. Anyway, so yeah, we get ourselves a new shield, and she can be holding on to this for when eventually Chaos lets go of his torch, and we have some new stuff. So anyway, more gear, lots of gear. This is a good floor for gear, I feel like. I keep saying that about floors. Maybe the game's just good at making it feel like you're getting nice gear as you're going forward. We get some mushrooms, we get some milkweed. Small stuff. The game will later spawn a spider in here if you accidentally fall down later, so do be careful. Also, check it out, a 15th coral. So we're always going to have an odd number now. So for those of you who don't like odd numbers, you're going to have to suck it, because this is the most amount of corals we could have at this point in the game anyway. So 15 of them. There's nothing in here, but there is a stairway up. Aside from the giant ogre, at least. And from the stairway up, we can pull this lever. And by pulling the lever, we find ourselves in a very kind of weird area, and suddenly, like on my test play, I came into this whole section. I hadn't even done these earlier areas here where you got the shaman stuff, so I'd kind of really progressed really far forward, and I wasn't sure what I'd missed, which turned out to be quite a lot. So we get this big room here. A cold bolt is firing across into that thing there. And opening and closing them. Well, the idea is you need to go out and obstruct it so that you can walk on the floor there, which is an interesting idea. But also we've got this place down here. I've got a couple of spare torches as well for when our torch finally goes out, which is important again because we don't have this orb equipped. So actually, if you come down here, you'll find a bunch of levers. We're in a lever city, guys. So there's a load of stuff here. I'm so sorry about my accents. We're in here, and if you come all the way over here, we can open this door, and this is... No, not... I didn't want to mark that. This is where we originally kind of were before, so if we didn't realise there was that extra secret, we would have just opened our way through and broken into this area. There's loads of levers here. This feels to me like one of those situations where you learn how to do it later on in the dungeon. But in truth, I don't think... no, I did get this on my original playthrough without using a guide. But I really want to get what they hold now. It's like an extra secret, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump forward. I know previously in the LP I haven't, but I will be sure to mention to you guys when you're meant to learn how to do this. If there ever is a way, unless maybe I just lucked my way through it. If you want to get this early, you pull this lever down once and then back up. I'm not sure why, I'm just getting this from the guide. You pull this one down, pull this one down, and it will open up the middle section. Hopefully later we'll find a clue on how to do that, and you wouldn't have to be reliant. So anyway, it's a cool secret though. We get another dagger upgrade. Yay! Dagger upgrades are kind of weird in this game. Anyway, so do you remember our original dagger gave us extra accuracy, but when we moved to the fist dagger, we didn't get that extra accuracy anymore? Well, now we get an accuracy bonus on our new dagger again, which is awesome. So we can throw the fist dagger away. The fist dagger gave us, it was speed 20, but it was attack power 12. This one is slower still, so this is speed 17, but attack power 15. So it hits for more, it has an accuracy bonus to it, and it also has an extra special enchantment on it, Life Leech. Successful hits drain life from target and heal you. So it does a little bit of extra damage, I'm guessing, through that enchantment, and it also heals us up a bit. That's not actually too useful of a buff on a weapon for someone that's spec'd into evasion, because if she gets hit, she's going to take a massive chunk of health that this is unlikely to ever restore her all the way. Like, that kind of enchantment would be great on a character like Chaos. But in any case, it's a nice dagger, it does more damage, it's slightly slower, but it's got the accuracy bonus and a nice enchantment. You also notice this won't ever run out of charges like the other enchanted stuff we've had in the game, so that's cool to know. Anyway, there you go, that's the assassin dagger, that's just a secret in this area, and now we can progress forward into some of the last areas of this floor, which is here. So, the way, as I say, we've got to obstruct this. If you fall down those pits, it just takes you into the room with the giant ogre. And as I say, if you fall down now, you're also going to have a spider that will attack you. It's also been a long time since I last saved, so I'm a little bit concerned here. I'm going to go back out to... Frost bombs are basically... I don't want to do these too early. I don't want to use too many frost bombs too early, because they can be very useful against hard stuff later. So I don't know. Let's just cook up some potions, shall we? Just in case. Do you know what I also think would make this a really cool puzzle here as well? If it wasn't, and this is cruel, but if it wasn't a cold bolt that was firing at you, which does no damage, but instead it was a fire bolt, so you were really rushing. I think maybe even an early version, I wouldn't be surprised to hear that an early version of this game had that mechanic in it, but it was too difficult. So anyway, we've got a door over there. What happens if we try and get to the door? Well, obviously, we can't open it. There's no switch or anything over there. This will just hit the thing. We'll fall down with the ogre and the spider, which sucks. What would happen if we took this off of the torch off of the wall? Nothing happens, so don't worry about that. What do? Well, if you have a keen eye, you will notice off over there is a bracer. That is exactly the same as this bracer. A brace of fortitude raises health regen rate but increases food consumption rate. I don't actually want it, so I'm not going to pick it up. There's going to be one significant pickup I never get. All you have to do is run over there, grab it, and then walk back. It's very simple, but I don't need it. Well, also if you're eagle-eyed, you also see a switch there, right on the left where my cursor is. Can you see that? There's a switch. So we're going to watch for when we get hit. We're going to hit the switch. We're going to come back into the middle. And this opens the door, but behind the door are also a load of enemies, which are going to attack us unless we are careful. I'm also not going to fight them while they're on that, because then the bolts will fall down and have to go blah blah blah, which I'm not interested in. The experience I get from a spider, I'm sure, isn't very significant anymore anyway, so we'll leave it. These guys are also kind of weird. They'll always dodge to the side. You have to kind of take a hit, as far as I'm aware. You have to take a hit from them before they'll really move forward. So just do that. Let him move forward. He may try and... See, even that's not for sure, is it? Come on, come. Maybe it's just random and I've just kind of developed that thought. If I wait here maybe for a second, will he drop aggro or will he come? Ah, there we go. And now feel free to muller him. Don't die, Chaos. For the love of God, don't die. Okay, that's one. Arachnia's low. Restore Chaos up. So this necessarily wouldn't be a very difficult fight, but because I'm refusing to fight them while they're over there, at least with Liss, I could still be firing these, I suppose. Because of that, I'm making it a little bit harder for myself, but easier in the long run. Because then, if you go down, you got to go back up the stairs. You got to. So I'm not interested. There we go. Oh, I tried to kill him with a firebolt there. Have you noticed how infrequently I've been casting firebolts now? No, I accidentally fired some bolts and they went down anyway. No. Oh, I'm going to cut it, guys. I'm going to cut it. I'm also not going to drop down because we're a little bit low. So I'll see you in a second. Here's the staircase. I've got to go recover those two bolts. There's the spider, see? See? So you could be fighting Ugardians up there, fall down, and then if you hadn't even done the secret before, you'd have a giant ogre and a spider to fight down here. How horrific is that? Jesus. Horrific. Horrific. That, I say it in a very weird way. Right, okay. So we're done with that. And the door is, of course, open, so we can progress further into the dungeon. There we go. You don't have to wait around too much. Again, I really want to go save. Because I'd hate to die now. Yeah, I'm gonna go save, guys. I'll see you in a second. Okay, there we go. Right, we're back. We're back, everybody. Okay. So, in this next area, I do not 100% remember what is to come. There's this area that I can't remember. This is another area. This is... Oh, no. Okay, so this is on the other side. So that's the teleporter to the other little secret area we went to before. Ooh, a seismic event. I didn't have one of these last time I played. Okay, so, yeah, that will just be over on the other side of where we were before. So we can basically ignore that room because we've already done that stuff. That's where we came from. Let's progress. Here we go. Right. Yes, okay, so this is where we want to be. There's loads of these guys. This is another area where I died on my test play because there's just... There are 3 of them in there. They all seem to come in packs of 3 in this game. They're like hunters from Halo where they're always with the 2s. But they always kind of come in 3s. I killed 2 and thought I was fine. And then a 3rd one appeared and just kept laying into me. Because he was kind of obscured. Like, your vision is seriously obscured with these clouds here, right? I didn't realise anyone was back there. It was annoying. Oh, there's something else as well I think I want to do. So Liz has just leveled up again because she has got the spirit mirror pendant. She never leveled up on my previous run through because I didn't take her this far. See, she can almost be finished with... She's not far away from finishing missile weapons. How cool is that? She could become a master archer, doubles the chance of scoring a critical hit with missile weapons. And don't forget you're firing 2 at once. I'm not going to go for that too quickly though. What do I want though? Jeez, there's not much else. Assassination, I guess, would give me extra strength and stuff in the future. This is only dex and energy, which I definitely don't need. So yeah, let's go a bit into assassination. Yeah, so I don't really need her to be leveling up that much now that I've got double shot. But however, Natalie does need some assistance. So I'm just going to swap those necklaces around. So now Natalie's... Oh, excuse me. Natalie's now the one that's getting that extra EXP. There you go. This guy really wound me up before. Because, again, I hadn't saved it and... I just wasn't bothering dodging this stuff. Down you go. How do you like that? Let's just go poison shield. Rush our way through. Right. And collect our bolts. 15. Excellent. Right. So now we haven't been down those pits there. You can see that there's an iron door on the far side. And there seems to be lots of like faces and holes and stuff. Well, that's going to be to get into the iron door. But we can't quite get there just yet. So don't worry too much. There's also a little passage where I haven't explored just yet. Which I'm going to go and have a look at now. Oh yes, this area. So this area, shall we come back here later? I don't know. Oh fuck, forgot he was there. No, okay, right, we'll kill him. We'll come back here in a bit. We'll kill him though because I don't like these things. Yeah, again, you know, I love the pacing of this. You forget about stuff. You forget about these horrible things. You forget to keep looking at grates and stuff, and then boom, there's someone is. So there's that guy as well. If you enter this room from the other side, he could be attacking you while you're paralyzed from the thing that comes out in the grate, and that's very, very annoying. So we're going to just cast a couple of bolts at him and deal with him as soon as we can. Thing is, those guys can attack really quickly when they want to. Can you see my health here? They can attack very quickly when they want to. I also said they come in 3s, and I've only killed 1 there. If I get ambushed and die, I'll be very upset. No, it's fine. Okay, we'll rest. I'll cut it until I'm back. We'll cut it until I'm back, I said. Yeah, like I'm going to cut it when I'm not back. I'm gone. I'm gone for good. I'm never going to say another word on the LP. Right, okay, so we're done with this a little bit. There's actually an item here that's called a flail. In my Q&A video, I'll be mentioning as well. That's like one of my names. So I remember my first run through, I was like, oh, a flail. I wish I'd gone into maces because I was swords. But yeah, so there's a flail there. I don't actually know how good it is comparatively because I have no experience with maces. But yeah, I guess that's the next tier of weapon if you had a maces guy. You know, a lot of the requirements are quite low as well, so I could very much imagine making a warrior that just specs a little bit into all of the weapons. It probably wouldn't be smart at all because you wouldn't get any of the skills, but it would enable you to always have the best gear whenever you want. I don't think anything's better than the Sword of Nex just yet, and that's something I've not mentioned either on this floor, which I wanted to. We will go back to do the Fighters Challenge after this little section. Just once I've leveled up a little bit, got a little bit stronger, I'm going to go back. So I've still got the Sword of Nex, and we will still do that secret. Do not worry yourselves. So anyway, yeah, you kind of come to this area, and there's just kind of a big looping circular like corridor and nothing much going on as far as it would seem. This is the start of a very the longest secret in the game. A secret so long an entire floor is dedicated to it, as far as I remember. So yeah, I'll build that up and make us think about that for a little while. And now we're going to come over here. We've got this door. Our goal is to get to the iron door, of course, and wherever the end of the floor is. Where's the end of the floor? It's there. Look, guys, look. There's also a skull. Do you remember I said that there's going to be a secret later that combines one of these bone amulets with a skull? Well, now we've got it, I'm going to keep that. It's the first skull I've seen for a very long time. If you did take that trait with Minotaurs that means that they get more strength of skulls, you've probably been... This is like only the 3rd or 4th, possibly, in the entire game. You get a load early on and then very few afterwards. I like the idea as well that there's a story behind that was somebody's skull. Anyway, here we go. Like somebody died there. This is the iron door. The iron door is here. When we enter this area, it's going to start firing frost bolts at us. Our job is to simply make sure none of the frost bolts reach the receptacles, use that word whenever I possibly can, behind us. And actually, I did okay with this before. You just got to watch. There's only one moment that will really catch you out where it fires 2 bolts at once. I remember on my very first playthrough of this game, this took me ages, but on my test run, I did really well with it, so I don't know. I like the idea that there's some kind of muscle memory that still, like, is in my fingers from this random bit of a random game months and months and months ago that I played, but I can still very quickly pick it up. I really like that idea because, you know, academically I feel like I forget a lot of facts and information, but muscle memory just, it always sticks with you. And if that is some residual muscle memory that I developed a long time ago, I love it. I did that on my second time on my test LP and the first time just now. How long did it take you guys to do it if you've just played through the game, as I know many of you now have? I would be very curious to see that. Because I do remember struggling with it. It's, you know, like, I pen spin as well. Like, I started doing that a couple of years ago. And, like, it's the kind of stuff you never forget. It took me so long to learn how to do some tricks. And now, I haven't done it for months, but I can pick up a pen at any second and keep doing it. And muscle memory is really cool like that. Like, it's so hard to forget. It's like you never forget how to ride a bike once you've learned it. So anyway, here we go. The iron door gives us one thing. This is probably one of the worst iron doors in the game. It gives you Chichen boots, which we can put onto Liss over here. And actually, we do now have a full set of Chichen armor. You see, we've got Chichen mask, Chichen mail, and Chichen boots. We can put the Chichen greaves across on her and have a character fully decked out in it. I think that does proc an achievement. I'm not sure, though. Maybe I got that on my first run and just now. I'm also... our torch is going out, so don't worry about that. Anyway, so we get these Chichen greaves... are they on the right person? I think they are, yeah. But also we get... What is Chaos's protection value at the moment? 62. That's crazy. But also we get this scroll, which teaches us a spell. So this is, again, one of those things. It's just knowledge that you've learned. And if you're following a guide, you might already know. Scroll of Enchant Fire Arrow. Fire Magic 7 required. Why did I put 1 point into Fire Magic before? Because I could combine it with that tome, and I can actually cast this spell for the rest of the game now, which is quite cool. So actually now, I've never really enchanted stuff with poison arrows that much, but I can at my leisure. Shit, I didn't cast it right. What is it? It's those two. Yeah, that's what I thought I cast. So it's the top two, that one there, and that one there. There you go. So now we have Enchant Fire Arrow. It will be annoying. Like, the risk of losing bolts is much higher because they won't get automatically picked up. But they're going to do more damage, which I like. You know, I think that's going to be quite cool. Look, they have an attack power of 2 normally, but now they have plus 5 fire on top of it as well. Won't help much against these Gardens, but it will help against various other things. I really like that. I think that's very cool. So that's going to boost our damage a significant amount. And I'm glad I put that 1 point into Fire Magic way back when. So we're done with all that. People could be eating and stuff. But anyway, there's the iron door of this floor, guys. This might be a little bit of a longer video than normal. I think I'm about 20 minutes now, and I should usually end it here. But this is going to be a little bit of a longer video because here we've got a way that goes down. Or should I? Should I leave it? No, I'm going to show you guys because this is kind of the most exciting stuff probably of this whole thing. So we have now finished the previous floor. I will just throw that out there. The ancient chambers are done. There's these little bits on the map that haven't been mapped out. That's just because it was a part of the maze where you couldn't actually reach them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else is mapped out. That's that floor done. That's all of the secrets almost on that floor done. And we come into the next floor, which is the vault. Do you remember this? We had that small area over here that we saw once, and I was like, it looks a little like a vault. This floor is incredible. It's a very interesting floor. We start off with a scroll of Shock Shield, which is interesting. Why does it give us a scroll of Shock Shield? I'll never be able to cast it anyway, but why? Well, if we progress forward a little bit, it's very linear. We find this big room here, and if you look, you can hear zapping noises. There's a sign that says the Vault of the Dismantler. The Dismantler is an item in the game. Interesting. And I'm not even sure what type of item it is. I know it's a weapon, but I'm not sure whether it's one I'll ever be able to use. We get a save crystal for this floor, which is fantastic. Nothing on any of these walls, no hidden switches, no buttons, nothing like that. Here you can see that these are the electric bulbs themselves. We can grab this note through. This note simply just has an icon of something in like a mazy looking area. Interesting. We'll hold on to that. That will be useful for future episodes. And we can continue to progress, and it's very linear. There's not much we can do. We can pick up random items. And we get the iron door for the floor straight away. So we've just did the previous iron door. This is the iron door for the vaults. We have no key, though, of course, so we can't do anything with it. And we come to a dead end, but another stairway down. Jesus. So we can go down here. And where are we now? This is the temple entrance. This is the floor after the vault. This is level 9, Grimrock Temple 1. I love this. It reminds me a lot of old games that had levels, and you'd get like, oh, this is the Temple Complex 1, Temple Complex 2 and stuff. So this is Grimrock Temple 1. We're kind of almost in a new tile set and everything now here. We've got some new stuff on the wall, drapes with vague like images that are on there. Here we have our torch finally, just as our old torch went out. So we can grab that. Oh, it really affects your eyes when you do that. So anyway, we're in the Grimrock Temple 1, and to be perfectly honest, we can now progress through the game. We can just continue on. And in a weird way, we've skipped the vault. The vault is entirely skippable. As I say, it's basically a secret floor, and we can continue along here. There's various stuff. There's lots of these. There's a single enemy for us to fight. I almost don't want to fire my bolts at this guy because it's not going to do any bonus damage to him, but whatever. So we can kill these guys as soon as we can. They're actually quite plentiful, those enemies in the game, now that we've started to find them all over the place. So we'll grab our bolts back, and of course it doesn't do it automatically, and I have to stand in my crappy poison field, which is always fun. Here we get an item that says the Holy Scriptures, and you look and there's a scary looking guy in there. Is he a more dangerous enemy than normal? Well, we're about to see. We can progress further as well, and we come to a gate with a place called the Checkered Room. Now, several things happened to me on my very first playthrough of the game. First of all, I didn't appreciate that the vault... How would you know that the vault was kind of a skippable level, right? I didn't understand that. I'm almost 100% sure it's skippable. There might be something small that we need there anyway. I will be going and exploring it, but I didn't appreciate that. So first of all, I thought I'd missed something massive. So I was already a bit uneasy by coming into this temple. Then I came to this room and got stuck in here. The Checkered Room. I got very stuck in here. I had no idea how to complete it. In theory, you should be able to complete this puzzle just from the text that appears on the wall there. Maybe you guys have got an idea. I'm not going to reveal that just yet, and if you don't want it spoiled, don't look in the comments, because I'm sure people will say. So anyway, I couldn't get further forward, so my first impression was, right, well, obviously I need to go way back to the vault. It seems to have got very complicated. There's a lot of different floors that I can go to. What's going on here, blah, 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 blah. Eventually, I realised that you can rip those off the walls. And all of a sudden, I thought, oh, wow, okay. And I was still kind of confused because I hadn't done the vault. But there was this button here, which I pressed, of course. And it opened the way to this Guardian, who looked really intimidating in the light. But of course, as you can now see, he's not very intimidating at all. He's a regular enemy. We can kill him like a regular enemy. Pick up our bolts. And he drops an ornate key for us. Yay, wonderful. What does the key go for? Who knows? These are the Holy Scriptures, though. What have we found? Well, look, there's some new icons and things on the wall. We're in a temple now. Things are slowly starting to change. We're in the holy areas at the low down in the mountain. There's a scroll that gives us a bit of interesting information. We, the Order of Sacred Fire, have given an oath to protect the inner sanctum and guard the undying one that is held below. This we shall promise with our lives and for all ages to come. So what are they talking about? We've had a weird cryptic dream about a machine that needs to be repaired, that's our only escape, and now there's an undying one below. Is this the final boss? What's this? And the Order of the Sacred Fire, are these the people we've been fighting? Who knows? But interesting information there anyway. I'm not sure that's used for any secrets or anything. We also get another scroll over here that is used for a secret. This is a scroll that simply says, 2 times left she slithers, once right, once left, 3 times right, and twice more is left. This she repeats twice. So this whole kind of room didn't give us any loot, but it did give us a hint for something that will come in the future. So again, I was like, oh, well, alright. So I felt like I'd suddenly made progress, but I hadn't really. Because you can rip loads of these, and indeed I will rip all of them, just so that we're all happy. You find some things. You find some nice cheese bread there. Nom nom nom, cheese bread. Every time I mention that in an LP, I'm like, I need to go get some cheese bread once I'm done. There's this thing on the wall. It doesn't do anything, though. Oh, look at how dark it gets when you take that torch off. It doesn't do anything, though. And in general, there's nothing else. You can go right back to the first room. Oh, no, this isn't the first room. This is the way we just were. You can go right back to the first room where that original cloth was. Crap, where am I going? This way? Here we go, where the original cloth was. We can rip it open. There's nothing there. So what the hell, guys? What the hell? What are we doing? Well, I got really stuck. There were all these things, these balls I was suddenly juggling around. Eventually, I realised that you just had to complete the puzzle, the checkered room, which, you know, you can do in any case. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to go to the Grimrock temple. We've got business with the vault. So, we're going to come back out of the vault, because there's nothing to do in here. This was just a very linear little area that gives us glimpses of a floor that you can otherwise miss, basically. Teases you. Even gives you a scroll that gives you a hint on how to complete something on the floor, but you will never be able to use. We're going to go way back out into the floor that these videos are about, okay? So that's why I've left this in this video, because technically this is still a part of the ancient chambers. So, do you remember also, ages ago in this video, I mentioned this weird area we could go to, not this way. I mentioned that weird area we could go to with a long corridor that just seems to go nowhere and nothing really seems to be happening there. We're going to go back there, back to the area where the tentacle monster tried to rape us from the grate. That was a bit unnecessary. Right, we come back here though, and we're going to have a look on all of the walls. All of the walls. Balls to the walls. In fact, I'm just going to try and go to where exactly it is because I can't be bothered. Where the hell am I on these maps? I'm not in traps. See, traps feels like ages ago now. Yeah, okay, so we're actually going to come back around this little mazy type area here. We're going to come to this gate, which we could open and close, remember? And you're going to come next to this gate and look just on the wall to the left here. There's a rune. Okay, this is my exact location. Exact location. Right? That's where you want to go. You press the rune, and for a very short period of time, it's going to open, hidden somewhere, a timed door that you need to find so that you can rush through it. The timed door is here. You're going to go through it. And voila, look, and we're locked in. We've been locked into a weird area, a secret area with lots of these menacing statues. Is there still a story to be found here? Who knows? But we can find a secret entrance to the vault. Another entrance to the vault. And from here, we can progress through the level. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time when we are on the hunt for the dismantler.